I didn't know, yeah, I didn't know which box that.
Ready, Sarah?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to call it meeting to order. Have roll call, please.
Dolmeyer,
Here.
Kiesling,
Here.
Klankhammer,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Reich.
Here. Okay, we'll start with citizens' input. Anyone wishes to address the council, the podium, state your name and address for the record.
John Ritchie, 6416 Sandwedge Court, Asbury, Iowa. Mayor, Council, I'd like to request that you pull item K from the consent agenda until we can have a meaningful discussion between the council, Jeremy, and the citizens. I'd like to remind the council that the golf course was bought by the citizens. All the changes in that golf course are made by the citizens, taxpayers' money. So I really think it's time to maybe sit down and have some discussions, some meaningful discussions about where we're going with the rates and what the mission is on this golf course. Thank you.
Tim Kane, 2217 Crown Point Road, Asbury, Iowa. And I'm in agreement with John. I think the mission of the golf course needs to be addressed. The rates that were published, the new rates that are published with is substantial increase, lack of a discount for early payment. And then in my mind, there should be a resident fee, a resident season pass fee, rather than lumping all the Asbury residents in with everybody else. So, and then there's this other issues too, and I think John, with a meeting between the interested parties, would be beneficial. Thank you.
Denny Troy from 5461 Park Place. I've been a citizen of Asbury for 30 years, maybe a little over 30. A member of the golf course for 25 years. And I understand that, you know, cost increases happen, but kind of to the point where they're outpricing themselves. If you compare two other local golf courses, you could literally join Lacoma Public Course and Bunker Hill Course for less than what the proposed membership cost for 2025 is. 1725 is, I believe, is the number that's being proposed, which kind of getting out there. And also, I understand that there is proposal for some type of a beverage and food requirement, which I'm not even sure that's legal. But I do have strong concerns about this, and I know a lot of other people as well. And you know, part of the reason I live in Asbury is really to be close to the golf course, because that's one of my main things that I enjoy doing. But anyway, I just wanted to stress my concerns along with Tim and John. Thank you.
Al Velo, 2348 Sprucewood Drive. I'd just like to add my voice to their opinions, and also it's supposed to be a recreational activity, and it's becoming more and more of a private club if you add in quarterly food and beverage allowance. So I agree with what the gentlemen have said, and I think that you need to revisit the issue at a later time. So I would ask that you would table the measure for tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else address the council? Okay, move on to consent agenda. Anything held for separate discussion, or would have a motion to approve?
I'd like to make them to, pull item K for separate discussion, please, the Meadows.
Anything else?
Yes, I'd like to pull item I.
Okay, have a motion to approve the consent agenda with items I and K removed.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda without items I or K.
Second.
I'll second.
A roll, please.
Kiesling. Klinkhammer.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Delmeyer.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. We'll move on to resolution 158 of 2024. A resolution approving a chicken coop request at 6306 Mandan Court.
Yeah, since I asked for this to be pulled, one of the questions that I had, and I could be totally wrong here, and I'll apologize ahead of time, but when we first decided to look at putting chicken coops in here, I thought that we would look at this as a case-by-case basis. And in fact, I believe that it was John Ritchie that even suggested that we look at this as case-by-case. So it shouldn't be part of the consent agenda. I don't really have any heartburn over that, but I did want to have a discussion. If there's anything that should be looked at, it should be looked at as a case-by-case situation.
Is this not a case by case? This is for one chicken coop.
I realize that, but if we just put it into the consent agenda, then we're just kind of giving it a blanket without, we'd have to ask for it to be pulled out.
Okay, so what's your concern?
I just don't want it into the consent agenda. I want it pulled out.
Have we had any citizen reaction to this chicken
No.
coop? No.
And we have been putting the chicken coops in the consent agenda. But we can in the future if you'd like to put them under new business. But I mean,
I think they belong to the consent agenda, and that's where they'll remain. If you want to remove them, that's your prerogative.
okay.
Any discussion on this?
So everybody's in favor of it. Well, again, I apologize then.
No, it's your right.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to
Motion
approve?
to approve resolution number 158 of 2024.
Second. The motion is second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Kiesling.
Aye.
Klinkhammer.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Delmeyer.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to resolution 160 of 2024. A resolution amending the 2025 membership fees for the Meadows Golf Club.
I'm going to make a motion to table that resolution because I think there's a lot of items that we need to discuss. I have questions. I've had people contact me with issues. I think we need a couple weeks to sort through some of that stuff. And then the discussion that we should have, I'd like to have Jeremy here to participate in that discussion. Since we've eliminated the early fee or proposing to eliminate the early discount, I don't see any reason why I can't wait for 2 weeks. So my motion is to table this.
I think Russ has a very good point.
Is there a second on the motion?
I'm sorry. I will second that motion.
All in favor of tabling, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is tabled. We'll move on to resolution 161 of 2024, a resolution approving change order number 4 for the Autumn Drive reconstruction project.
Yeah, so just some brief comments about Autumn Drive in general. The project is basically done, other than we're just waiting for Alliant to come in and install the meter for the other half of the streetlights that haven't been on at night. I don't have any timeline on that yet. I have a call out to Alliant, and hopefully that'll be done here in the near future. But other than that, Eastern Iowa had a couple guys there today to finish up punch list items, so things are close to wrapping up, and we'll look to officially close the project then out to it'd probably be the first meeting in January to kind of follow that assessment timeline that you guys have always done with these projects. With that being said, change order number 4 here is kind of it's just going to be a balance change order where the contractor, Eastern Iowa, was not willing to do extra work with residents and work that out separate. So what we ended up doing is if people wanted extra work, we worked that a price out with Eastern Iowa, and the city prepared a quote for those property owners. And if they wanted to do the extra work, they would sign off on that. And basically the city is paying Eastern Iowa for the work. And then with those agreements signed by the residents that did this work, the city will then send a bill to those residents, and they have agreed to pay that amount already. So we're just adding it into the project as change order to track that amount, and then that'll be billed to those residents accordingly. And that bill would be sent out when assessments go out as well when the project is closed. So with that being said, the total amount for the change order is $5,399.38. It looks like maybe a couple questions.
My question is on the, redoing the driveways, okay? We have a assessment in place, a guaranteed, a maximum assessment, so this amount goes above the max. If it puts them above the maximum, they're still gonna pay it?
Yeah, so basically this is a separate from the assessment. It's a whole new agreement on the side. So this is additional beyond the assessed.
All right, I just wanna make
areas.
sure we
Yes.
didn't get jammed up with the, cap on the assessment.
Yep, there won't be a cap on this. This is separate from the assessment.
Thank you.
Any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 161 of 2024, change order number 4 for the Autumn Drive reconstruction project.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Any final discussion? Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Domeyer.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Next is resolution 162, 2024. A resolution approving pay app number 9 for the Autumn Drive reconstruction project.
Yeah, so the majority of this pay request is for the remainder of the pavement that went in since the last pay request, and then as well as all the restoration work that was completed, and then storm sewer inlet box outs were placed as well, and then a few other small items in there. With that being said, the total for pay request number 9 is $162,135.10. MSA recommends approval of this amount for Eastern Iowa unless you have any questions.
I know it was seeded really late. Is there any grass growing, or are we gonna have to reseed that again in the spring?
The grass actually did start growing. I haven't checked on it lately, but they have, Eastern Iowa has guaranteed, and as they've done in the past, if they need to come back in the spring as part of warranty, they'll hit spots again if needed.
Excellent, thank you.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 162-2024.
I'll second it.
Have a motion seconded. Discussion. Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Domeyer.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. We have resolution 163, 2024. A resolution approving change order final for the Forest Hills Wetland Improvements Project.
Yeah, so the project is finally being closed out now. Change order, the final one is actually just a balance of quantities for the project and resulted in a decrease to the current contract amount of $4,900.95. Unless council has any questions, we recommend approval of the final change order.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 163 of 2024, change order for final, for the Forest Hills Wetland Improvements Project.
Second. Discussion. Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Domeyer.
Aye.
That is approved 5-0. Resolution 164, 2024. A resolution approving pay app final for the Forest Hills Wetland Improvement Project.
Yep, this is just the payout of retainage then that was remaining on the contract. That amount was $7,714.63. Unless you have any questions regarding that amount, we would recommend approval of the final pay request.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 164 of 2024, resolution approving pay app final with Wetland Hills Improvement Project.
I'll second that.
Motion second. Discussion. Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Domeyer.
Aye.
That is approved 5-0. You have resolution 165, 2024. A resolution approving certificate of substantial completion, statement of final completion, list of claims and owners, acceptance of work for the Forest Hills Wetland Improvements Project.
Yep, so these are all the contract documents that basically close everything out. I would say the important item to note that I usually include here is in regards to the substantial completion and the correction period. The substantial completion date was identified as June 15th of this year. And looking at the contract documents, there is a 2-year correction period on this project, which means that then that correction period would extend out to June 15th of 2026. Unless council has questions on closing out the project, we recommend approval of these documents.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 165 of 2024.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Dolmeyer.
Aye.
It's approved 5-0. Next, I have resolution 166, 2024. A resolution approving the 2026 5-year capital improvement plan. This mirrors what you discussed at the last meeting, unless we missed something or anything you want for discussion.
I have one thing I'd like to change or recommend that we change, given the fact that we got a substantial, that we haven't accepted yet, but the substantial petition for pickleball courts. I'd like to make sure that we put the date for the pickleball courts as fiscal year 25, 26, next fiscal year, as opposed to out into the future, and possibly consider going from an additional 2 to additional 4. And then I'd also like to then pass that on, if it's approved, ask that Parks and Recreation be charged with finding a location for it.
I think I'd like the location before I went to 4. We're pretty much going to Chloe with 2.
I guess where I was thinking, one of the recommendations I think I gave to him for, if we did just 2, instead of putting a sand volleyball court in out at Arrowhead, there's possibly room to put 2 courts in out there. And they wouldn't be close to the houses, so the clicking noises that you get from the racquetballs, which is an issue that's starting to come up in communities, it would be far enough from houses that, it's just, that's up to Parks and Rec. I could live with 2, I'm just thinking that we should do it next year.
Well, I have no problem with it. I think we should send it to Park and Rec to bring it back so we know where they're going before we say we're going to put them in.
And really putting a time frame on it is inappropriate because you're tying Park and Rec's hands with that as well. You push them
We got
ahead.
dates on everything else in here, it's a 5-year plan.
It's,
We could change that at the strategic planning meeting if we needed to.
The CIP is a living document used. The council can make modifications, additions, deletions anytime you want.
I agree with you that we need more of them, but I think the process should take care of it.
Could we just, if we just leave it the way it is, can we just pass on it? Sarah's part of Parks and Rec, can we just pass them on to them to try to find a location as soon as possible? That'd be fair.
And then do you want to table this then?
No, I mean, we can still approve it. I mean, as Jim said, we can come back
Right.
following
2 weeks.
2
change
weeks, because we won't do any construction until next year anyway, but, we can change it at any time, even during the budget process.
Anytime.
Okay. We just need a recommendation from Parks and Rec where they would like.
Okay.
For motion to accept the CIP as presented then?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
For motion second, any other discussion? Call roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Dolmeyer.
Aye.
That is approved 5-0. Final is resolution 167 of 2024. A resolution approving the urban renewal certification for FY26. Just quickly, if you look at, and you may have seen it, but I just pointed out that the vast majority of the TIF districts will sunset after next fiscal year. So Beth is recommending we at least ask for the max at this point. You're not compelled to spend any of it. Just simply sets the stage for whatever you choose to do in FY26 for TIF eligible projects.
So would we need to add, are we asking for the max, or one of the things I thought of for funding those pickleball courts was TIF funds, so,
And that could still be used for that.
okay, we don't have to identify it specifically
No.
in the report.
Case in point was the cart path, and then we went into irrigation.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 167 of 2024, approving the urban renewal certification for FY 2026.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich,
Aye.
Dolmeyer.
Aye.
All right, we'll take citizens' input for anything not previously discussed.
I'll make a motion to approve the reports.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have to do a separate one on to receive the pickleball?
Receive and file.
Receive and file?
Yeah, that's a good point. We should do a receive. Could you,
We can do the reports, but I
Rescind.
recommend.
I'll rescind my second.
yeah, to receive and file the petition and then approve the
Right.
reports?
I'll make a motion to receive and file petition for additional pickleball courts in Asbury
Yeah, reports.
and the reports.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Before we get into roundtable, if I can take a minute, I meant to do it at the beginning, and I feel really bad about it. If you haven't heard, Tony Carr passed away over the weekend. We just became aware of it yesterday, at least I did. Tony was a public works director for many years, served the city selfishly. The guy went through chemo twice, never missed a day of work other than a chemo treatment, a doctor's appointment. I think at some point in the future, we want to do something more formally, but I just ask that we take a moment and just reflect and think of Tony and what he did and the person he was, more importantly, and his family. Please join me in a moment. Thank you. Would you start, Craig?
That one kind of threw me off. So sorry.
Sorry, I meant to do it at the beginning. I just,
Nothing at this time.
I'm good.
Do you want to set up the meeting for the golf course proceedings?
I'm suggesting a work session maybe as early as next week, but I gotta defer. Jeremy had surgery, so if you're all available next week, we can reach out to you, and if he's available, then
Yeah, I just wanted to get an answer.
We could probably even do it before the meeting next time. I mean,
That's
what I
what we-
want to do is, I want to make sure if people want to, I want to hear their opinions and want to make sure we give them plenty of time to do that. I mean, I understand it's,
well, that's fine. If we do it beforehand, then it's hard to draft the resolution
in the-
based
Okay.
on, you know,
All
that's
right.
the only reason I'm thinking about next week, but again,
that's fine.
I think Jeremy would be okay. He was on tonight more as a resident, just wanted to listen. He's on some pain meds, so was hesitant to even speak in an official capacity. So that'd be my suggestion, to do a work session next week.
And I also wanted to thank everybody. I've got numerous phone calls, excuse me, emails and text messages on their concerns at the golf course. So I'm glad everybody's getting involved.
I guess to echo that, the one thing I did want to mention to people about that is, I get told this a lot of times, but we really don't sell memberships. We sell passes. There aren't memberships. These are just, it's passes, not memberships that were priced for that. Thank you.
Aaron?
I had a citizen approach me a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted to commend Blaine and his crew for cleaning up the street. She says they are doing an excellent job.
Kurt?
Nothing from you tonight.
Counselor Meany? Yes.
I guess we haven't actually had a meeting since Halloween parade, correct?
No, you haven't.
I just wanted to say that there was a great turnout for it. People, I think they understood the change in the parking for the most part. Hopefully it did make things go smoother for all people involved with it. So again, great job for the city and the people turning out for that.
All right. Sarah, do you have anything?
One thing that was in the packet, and it was under council members, is Dave Grass is no longer the fire chief. now as Marty Topping, so just wanted to let everyone know that. And the letter was in the packet, so.
Thank you. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Too bad about Tony.